Welcome to the downtown studios of Cranford, New Jersey. Here at the Commissioner's Cove. Alongside of me is the co-commissioner, 13th Legion, and I am the commissioner. Ricky let me down. Well, we are going to bring today a special segment on the pre-draft of the rookie draft of 2024. It's coming up this month.
Yeah, the end of the month. It's right around
End
the
of
corner.
the month. So we decided to get together today and talk about only the first round picks, all right, of the needs of each individual team. Maybe some teams trade down, some teams trade up to get that special franchise quarterback that we're hearing about, that you guys are hearing about. And we're here to talk about it today on this latest podcast. So sit back, relax, drink your little cafecito, drink your little bourbon, smoke your little cigar, and listen to two distinguished gentlemen talk about fantasy football for this up-and-coming draft. All right.
How you doing, Commish?
I'm all right, my friend. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming
Always
out.
a pleasure to be here in the studios.
All right. So today, we got together. We're going to talk about, obviously, each 32 NFL teams, what their needs are, and what we think they're going to be drafted in this rookie draft.
Yes, our humble opinion.
Right. And not humble. A couple of teams do not have first-round picks.
Do you care to let our fans out there know which ones don't?
I believe it's the Browns, Houston, and the Carolina Panthers. All right, so you Cleveland Brown fans, you don't have a first-round pick. The Panthers do not either, and Houston does not either, but Houston looks stacked anyway.
Yes. Well, if you want to start off real quick, just for anyone out there who might have been sleeping, they did acquire Stephon Diggs.
I can't believe that.
That's going to be a very interesting scenario.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
That's
because
what it makes it interesting.
You know what? I think Nico Collins takes a little hit, and Noah Brown takes a hit on that one as well.
Hey, he looks like right now the odd man out.
Yeah.
You can't. What are you gonna do? Sit Tank? Well, maybe it's the beginning of the year. I don't know what Tank's injury status looks like. Because he had that broken leg towards the end of the season. Maybe he doesn't start the year, and maybe that's where Noah Brown comes in. But yes, you're right. Everyone takes a little bit of a hit because Stephon's gonna need his targets.
He's gonna need his plays. I mean, C.J. Stroud, he looks like a nice quarterback to draft. Maybe the first couple of rounds. Don't sleep on him.
Yeah, I think I saw some ADPs out there where he's in the top 5.
Yeah.
Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Jalen, and then Stroud. Hard to believe, second-year guy being up there in the top 5, but that's a possibility.
But he's a good quarterback in Dynasty.
Yes.
He's good.
Maybe we'll have to do a special show on Dynasty one day.
We will. All right, let's get to the program. All right, guys, we're going to start off with the number one pick. Everyone knows the Chicago Bears. Their needs, team needs. What do they need, Cole?
Well, listen, unless you've been under a rock, they need a quarterback.
Right, they need a quarterback, and everyone knows the consensus right now is going to be Caleb Williams. No one is not thinking that they're going to take somebody else.
Yeah, I think for the most part, everyone thinks and believes that he will be signed.
Yeah.
And there's the way the NFL draft works, and if you have the first round pick, there is a chance for you to sign a player even before the draft. So, although they haven't made that announcement yet, but.
I think. What's your take on that? You think that they're not wait? I mean, why not just sign them now? Why are they waiting so long?
I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with his agent, potential snags, and what the contract should look like. These rookie deals. First, especially the first pick. I don't know. Maybe there's some stuff behind the scenes.
All right,
but I don't think there's a doubt. That they're not going to take him. I think he's going to be their guy.
I do too. All right, let's move on to our second overall pick. It's going to be the Washington Commanders. Now here, team needs quarterback, offensive tackle, edge, cornerback, wide receiver, safety, linebacker, and inside offensive lineman, quarterback. We talked about this. We just talked about this off the air. I'm thinking, my opinion is, I think they go Jaden Daniels, LSU.
Yes, that is the most recent consensus. For the longest time, it was Drake May. So I don't know. They've been, I've been reading articles. They've been keeping things close to the vest. They've been having interviews, and people have come in. So I don't think there's really a firm belief out there that it could be either one of them.
Yeah, I do too.
Could they go wrong with either one of them?
No.
I don't think so.
I think they go with Jaden Daniels. I think with his escapability, in this day and age, we definitely talked about this as well. I feel I don't know. The NFL quarterback has changed dramatically over the years. I think if the play breaks down, they want you to run, get a couple yards. All right, some positive yards. We've seen it with Mahomes. You know, he's not just a pocket quarterback. He can be a pocket quarterback, but he can run out the pocket as well. That's what makes him so dangerous. Josh Allen, you know, these pocket quarterbacks, you know, there's 3 Hall of Famers that just left. Breeze, Brady, and I believe there was another one. I can't remember. Peyton.
Yeah.
Those guys are generational type quarterbacks, and there aren't many pocket quarterbacks.
And we can go back a little bit further in time to one of yours. Dan Marino.
Yeah.
You know, a guy who can definitely, you know, who knew how to manipulate the pocket and throw downfield.
Kurt Warner's another one.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
There aren't many quarterbacks that sit in the pocket anymore nowadays. There just isn't any quarterbacks. All right, that's our Washington Commanders. What we think, what I think is going to drive. Do you think anything else besides?
No, I think it's either one of those two. I don't think they're going to trade down to get another quarterback. I think at this position at this position in the draft, I think this is a unique opportunity to get a quarterback for the next 10 years. I don't think you're going to draft down for this or go down for that. But you know, every one of these young quarterbacks and any young quarterback period. You know, they're working in a pro type system in college. Usually their first read is their guy. So there's going to be a learning curve for any young quarterback. And I think it's whatever team has the best plan going into the season, the best plan for their young quarterback. I think that's what, you know, that dictates whether or not they're going to be successful right away.
All right, it's good stuff. All right, number 3 overall pick, New England Patriots. Now, it says here team needs offense, tackle, wide receiver, quarterback. I think it's the other way around. I think it's quarterback's number 1. My opinion here is I think there's no doubt they're going Drake May, number 3 overall.
I think they're going to take the guy that Washington did not. I think that's, you know, pretty much it. Can they, again, we could say the same thing that we did with Washington. Can you go wrong? Probably not.
Probably not. I think they go Drake May.
There's a sneaker, you know, potential up there.
I don't think they take Marvin Harrison.
No.
No way.
No, I'm not talking about wide receiver. Another quarterback that's been rising up the ranks, J.J. McCarthy. You know, a guy, shades of Brady.
I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think so. That's just me.
There's a lot of stock up on J.J.
Yeah. All right, number 5, the 5th. I apologize. Number 3.
Number 4.
Where's number 4? I do apologize. Number 4th pick of the draft. I don't have here.
That I believe that's going to be Arizona.
Arizona. That's right. It is Arizona. Arizona is no doubt going to take Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He's coming off the board to Arizona.
Yeah, I think you know, they lost a couple of their wide receivers. Hollywood Brown being the biggest one. You're going to need someone that Murray's going to throw to. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be their guy.
I think so too. I
don't think there's going to be much of a doubt on that.
No. All right, number 5, Los Angeles Chargers. This is a big one here. You know, they don't need a quarterback. They may need a running back though. But do they take a running back number 5? Now hear me out. Or do they drop down? They might drop down and somebody might move to number 5. And you know who that team might be? It might be the Minnesota Vikings. Might move up from their position to number 5 because they don't need a quarterback. And running backs they could wait on. There's a lot of good running backs out there. Okay.
Yes, and this is a pretty deep draft for wide receiver also. I think what's going to come down to is how strongly they feel a Malik Neighbors or Roma Duzier are, you know, how important, how do they rate them? If they rate them pretty high and they don't want to take the chance of losing out on them, they're not going to trade down. If they want to take that chance and trade down maybe 3 or 4 slots to where Minnesota's picking, maybe.
I think they move down here. Guys.
They do need but do you know, again,
they need a left tackle as well.
Which is what I was going to bring up. I said there was a lot of strong recent activity with them. Potentially with Harbaugh being their new head coach, him stressing the importance of an offensive line in a run game, where they might get that generational.
Do they take Joe Alt out of Notre Dame?
That's potentially the rumor. Yes,
I think they drop down and they can get another guy like they can get right here, Amarius Mims out of offense tackle out of Georgia.
That possibly.
I think so.
But then they lose out on a wide receiver.
They can get a wide receiver later on. I understand a generational wide receivers, but we see it every year. I mean, listen, Stephon Diggs is a great wide receiver, and you know what? He moves from team to team. This is third team already. Okay, you can always get somebody else in.
What's one of the first things I when I called you about the Stephon? I think we must have got the notification at the same time because we were bang right on top of it. But I said, is he going to be a cancer? Now Houston's got a good young team with a good young quarterback. Yeah, I almost feel that it's not a good scenario to have him there.
I don't think he's going to be a cancer. I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me why.
He only signed he's a free agent after this year.
Yes, I know.
He's
they
going to Dallas.
restructured it. Maybe.
So I don't think he's going to be a cancer. He knows that he's a free agent after this year, and they're not going to franchise tag him.
No,
They're not. So he's leaving after this year. So he's going to give it all he has.
gun for hire.
That's it. All right. That's our take on the.
That's a very good point, Commissioner.
Yep. Los Angeles Chargers. Then, your team, the New York Football Giants, the needs offensive line, wide receiver, and running back. So let me ask you this question. You're a New York Football Giant fan. You got Malik Neighbors staring at you. You got Romeo Duze staring at you. All right. You got an offensive tackle maybe staring at you. All right. You have. Those are pretty much it. And then, of course, running back, we all know about how we feel about the running backs. You can always get a running back later on.
Yes.
All right, so we're not going to take another running back.
So the question there is, do we trade down or do we go for a quarterback or do we go for a wide receiver?
That's a good one. So now the quarterback you have here. So are you taking Michael Penix at number 6 overall? Are you taking Bo Nix at number 6 overall? Are we really doing that right now?
I don't think that they will. I think my gut feeling is that they're going to go for a wide receiver.
I do too. You think that? I think that Romeo Doomsday is your pick, number 6.
I would hope that it would be, yes.
I think it is him. I really do.
You say what you want. They're gonna again. They signed this hefty contract over to Danny Dimes. I think they're going to give him an honest another year. If they choose a quarterback in this draft, it'll be a developmental guy. Maybe for after this year, he's going to sit a year. But it's not going to be one of those top guys, I don't think.
Nope.
But I think they're going to get a wide receiver. That's my my belief.
Which one you going to take?
I think me personally, I would take Rome.
All right, Rome is off the board.
Yeah, his size, his speed combination.
Yeah,
they're going to need a guy like that. I mean, they already have Jalen Hyde, who's more of a field stretcher. They already have I forget his name right now, but he's the underneath guy. He's more of a slot guy. But I think
so too.
A big bodied wide receiver is what they need.
I feel
they haven't had that since Odell left.
Yep. All right. Next pick, Tennessee Titans, offensive tackle, defensive lineman, edge. They don't need wide receivers. They don't need a running back. They don't need a quarterback. They're taking an offensive tackle. I believe either if Joe Alt's still on the board, which I don't think he will, he might be at number 7. They're going to take that offensive, or they might trade down, which I don't know about that. They're looking to protect the quarterback. They're looking to protect the run game, okay, to open up those running lanes, or Mims out of Georgia. That's what I feel.
I believe they would be taking offensive linemen also.
All right. 8th pick, you're going to have the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, the Atlanta Falcons, we just spoke about this. Atlanta Falcons, they don't need a quarterback. They don't need a wide receiver. They don't need a running back. No. They need defense.
They need defense, yes.
But, defense doesn't win. It does win you championships in fantasy football, but this is a fantasy football program. So we're not going to really touch on the edge rushers here on Atlanta. So I don't think they're going to take any skill position players. No,
I think they're going to go defensive edge.
Yeah.
They're going to need pressure. They're going to be a team that I think, again, who's going to try to control the clock as much as they can, and they're going to need a good defense on the other side of that.
Yep.
So
number 9, here it is, Chicago Bears.
Chicago again.
This is it right now. So now you got, here we go. You don't need a tight end. So the next best player on the board, Malik Neighbors, LSU. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. It kind of depends. What are the Chargers going to do? This pick in Chicago is totally dependent on what happens in the first 3 picks of the draft, 4 picks. If San Diego, listen to me. That's how old I am. If they trade down, if the Chargers trade down, right? And then Neighbors is available, or because they trade down, the Giants take Neighbors. If either one, right, Rome or Neighbors is available, I think Chicago stays put.
Yeah.
If they're both gone, this is a perfect opportunity for them to trade down.
Yeah, they will trade down, I believe. Or they're not going to take an offensive lineman. They can trade down a couple of slots.
No, they can trade. Listen, yeah. Minnesota wants to move up. They want to get a quarterback. Yep. Because look, at this point, we didn't say J.J. McCarthy would be coming off the board yet.
Not yet.
He's been linked to Minnesota as one of the potential people that they like. this is a chance for them to move up and get him.
All right, that's
But this is
good.
going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of movement, and especially in the first 10 picks of this draft.
I think Chicago Bears, if Romeo Duse is on the board, I think they take him. Like you said, if Neighbors is on the board, I think they take him. If those guys are gone and they're left with a quarterback or anything of that nature, I think they do trade down.
There's not an immediate need for a wide receiver in Chicago.
There is, because he could learn under Keenan Allen. He could learn.
could, but again, there's not an immediate need.
That's fair.
If you don't get what you're looking for,
Trade down.
then you can trade down.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, the next pick is number 10, New York football. The New York Jets. This one right here, everyone, the consensus says the tight end,
Yeah,
Brock
Brock
Bowers.
Bowers,
They
yes.
do need a tight end.
They-
They have a good line. Now, I was reading something on my sources said that they might draft a offensive lineman. Let's
Our
say
embed at the stadium said that. Yes.
right,
Yeah.
right. If they do take a lineman, just think about that. 10th pick, a lineman. That would be special, man, because they got a good line. If they take a first round pick for a lineman to open up those lanes for Breece Hall, oh man, that's amazing.
Well, listen. Again, they're going to need to protect Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
So it's a sound move. Do they trade back to get more draft capital? Maybe that's another possibility. But I personally believe they will take it.
So hold on now. So based on the draft that we've been talking about for the last 9 picks now, number 10th pick, Joe Alt hasn't been drafted yet. So if he's staring at them at number 10th pick, the best offensive lineman, do they take him out of Notre Dame?
No brainer.
So there you go. So it's going to be either, our opinion is going to be Brock Bowers or Joe Alt, the offensive
Yes.
lineman out of Notre Dame. All right, number 11. Here's the big one. Minnesota Vikings. They need a quarterback.
Yes, they
so
do.
now on the board right now in our draft. Okay, on our draft board, we have the only best available quarterback is J.J. McCarthy. Do they do that? Do they take him? Or do they take Michael Penix? Do they take...
I don't know. Supposedly Penix really impressed during his pro day workout.
What do you think?
I still think they're in love with McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Yes.
All right, so McCarthy comes
And
up.
again, this is going to be depending on where those other teams that we spoke about already, are they going to be willing to trade down? Does Minnesota move up? There will be a quarterback available for them.
Yes, there will be. Now, let's move to number 12, Denver Broncos. They need a quarterback as well.
Listen.
So what happens here?
I am convinced their quarterback is Bo Nix.
So you're saying Bo Nix is going number 12?
I believe. Almost, he's a clone. From what I've read,
Don't tell me.
he's a clone of Drew Brees.
Wow.
Quick passer, short game.
Yeah.
which is the old New Orleans play. Their play style. I think that definitely it will be Bo Nix. I think he fits perfectly for Sean Payton's offensive
Let's
philosophy.
not forget, Bo Nix is a little older. He's not 22. He's about 25,
okay.
26 years old.
When did Drew Brees didn't get drafted by New Orleans,
No, he got drafted by the Chargers.
right? And it was and weren't you upset when
Yes.
Miami didn't take a chance
Well,
on
they
him?
didn't take it because of his shoulder injury, and they
Correct.
took
And
Dante
and
Culpepper
they
instead.
regretted it ever since.
Yes, I
right?
did regret it.
So I do not think that his age has anything to do with this. And I think it only benefits him.
They had him ranked 27 out of the top 75 prospects coming out of college.
I think Denver's taking a chance.
At number 12?
At number 12, yes. They're going to overdraft him, but if there's ever a guy that fits their play style, it's Bo Nix.
All right.
And you can't argue about the production he had when he was in college. So
No, he was pretty decent. Well, it helped him out that he was, 30 years old playing against 18-year-olds.
he was not 30.
All right.
Oh, my God. You're so exaggerated.
The 13th pick of the draft coming up is the Las Vegas Raiders. Another
Now-
one is a quarterback need. They need a quarterback as well. So what?
Strongly tied to Michael Penix. That's the rumor.
Wow. You're thinking Penix goes number 13. You think so?
You don't have much of a window left for Devontae.
No, you don't.
You need a splash. You need a guy who's going to be a generational talent, just like Penix could be. I think the Raiders are going to choose him.
Okay. Penix goes to the Raiders, in our opinion. That's what we think. Then we have number 14 pick New Orleans Saints offensive tackle. So based on my draft board here, the best offensive tackle left is number 10th ranked prospect. You have Amarius Mims out of Georgia. You think that he goes to New Orleans Saints to help him out?
I don't think there's a big need for offense here. Defense, they've been pretty solid, if not,
Yeah, I think so. Or
splashy.
they also need a
They're gonna
defensive
go-
lineman.
Either one of those two, they couldn't go wrong.
All right.
It's what their immediate needs are.
All right, based on the consensus here, Marius Mims is off the board to the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm sorry, to the New Orleans Saints.
Yes.
Now we have Indianapolis Colts. Cole, you have the needs of the Colts. What do they have?
Yeah, the Colts are interesting. They, again, quarterback. Their secondary was mush last year.
Okay.
They need an edge guy. Edge guys defensively, put the pressure on the quarterback. Obviously, helps out their cornerbacks. I think they're going to go defense. Either one of those two, they can't go wrong.
Kamaria Lassiter out of Georgia, you think? The number one rated cornerback?
Cornerback?
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like a good fit. Yeah.
He's off the board. All right. All right, Seattle Seahawks, 16th overall, 16th pick of the draft. Inside linebacker, lineman, linebacker, edge.
No, they lost two big defensive cogs. They lost Jordan Brooks, who
To the
you're
Miami
happy
Col- yeah.
that they did lose him,
Yeah.
and they lost Bobby Wagner. I think they have to go linebacker.
Either linebacker or defensive lineman. You got Byron Murphy staring at you at the board, number 9th overall prospect in the college football, or out of top 75 out of Texas. Do you take him or you go linebacker? Because we all know the meat and potatoes are what? Is it a defensive offensive line?
Yes,
I like
know.
chocolate cake, which is a linebacker and a cornerback.
I
I like
think-
skill position players. I like chocolate cake. But you always told me about all these years about the meat and potatoes. Meat and potatoes wins you games.
Yes. This could be a position where they could trade down.
Fair
Well,
point.
Get the linebacker you want later on. Get some draft capital.
That's
up
fair.
front. Yes.
All right, that's the Seattle Seahawks again. Defensive lineman. We're thinking linebacker. I'm thinking defense. Or they're gonna trade down. Number 17, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver. All right, here we go. This is big.
I don't know if they need a wide receiver, but there is a guy out there that would fit the build for them.
Are you talking about the wide receiver out of Florida or the Tech Keontae?
Keon Cole.
There he is, Keon
Yes,
Cole out of
yes.
Florida.
I
you
think-
think he goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars?
That would be a nice spot for him.
I don't know. I fell in love with the wide receiver out of Texas. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'll get it for you in a moment. I really do like this kid. There he is, Adani Mitchell, wide receiver, Texas.
Okay, so this is why
I like him.
This is why I earlier on said that we're kind of deep at wide receiver here. This is a good class for wide
Yeah, it
receivers. Who knows? They can't go wrong with either one of them, but I think you take the hometown guy.
Which wow, you think? Let me find him on my draft board here. All right, 1 second. Keon Coleman, there he is, number 33 ranked prospect, the rookie draft. All right, that's fair. All right, the Bengals.
Well, before we go on, I don't think there's much of a need for anything else with them. They would they go defense? I don't know, but I think that one of those top wide receivers I think would be probably the best bet.
That's
for them.
fair. That's something that we're just thinking about. They would do. Obviously, they might go defensive lineman, or depending on who drops in the draft, or linebacker, or
I
whatever.
mean, Christian Kirk got a year older.
Yeah.
Is Zay
Zay Jones.
Zay Jones, the
He's
answer.
hurt. He's injury prone. Though.
He's injury prone.
And they got Gabe Davis.
who although he has splashes of brilliance, he's not consistent, and we really don't know what his role is going to be.
Well, if you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, the players acquired were defensive tackle Eric Armstead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't think they take a defensive tackle on the draft. I think they lost Ridley, a cornerback, a safety, all right, and another defense tackle, but they replaced him with Armstead.
Right.
So what I'm looking at here is I'm thinking a wide receiver.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think that either one of those two choices that we brought
Yeah.
up are good, but I really think they're going to go hometown.
Yep. All right. Next pick, the Bengals.
The Bengals.
All right. It says here that team needs tight end. They need.
I don't know about that.
They don't utilize their tight end much in their offense.
I
They might go defense, maybe a linebacker or defensive lineman.
mean, I know he doesn't, light fires, but they did sign Gasecki, who you don't really have
no.
much faith in. But
No.
but they already have a tight end that they like on their roster. I think they're going to go defense.
I do too. All right. Next one, Los Angeles Rams, defensive lineman edge. Again, we think they're losing the Hall of Famer just
Yes,
retired.
right.
I think they go defensive lineman, whoever's based on.
I believe so too. I
Yeah.
don't think that's. I don't think they need anyone on offense.
No.
Defensive line.
All right. Number 20 pick, Pittsburgh Steelers. They need a wide receiver, offensive tackle. Do they need a wide receiver? Listen, one of my picks this year's draft 2024, in my opinion, is going to have a comeback year or a breakout season. I think it's going to be Pickens, George. I really do.
Yes, but do you go in there with? Is he their only wide receiver?
No, they have a
I
couple.
know they have Calvin Austin, but he's not going to light any fires. You have Fryermuth. You got the 2 running backs who are probably going to listen. With Arthur Smith is their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Now? They're going to run the ball.
So I think they go offensive lineman.
I do too.
All right.
And just let me say this: they have been probably A+ when it comes to wide receiver evaluations.
Yeah.
They always get a wide receiver.
Yeah.
They could find a piece of gold somewhere on later on in
Absolutely.
the draft.
All right, here we go. My team, the Miami Dolphins. Oh,
Okay, well then you two, here it's all you, Commissioner. You
All
do
right.
all the talking on this one. What do you guys need?
I think the Dolphins need a
You need a
lineman.
quarterback, right?
No, we need a lineman. All right, the Miami Dolphins, nothing special here. We need offensive lineman. The best one available on the board. All right.
Do you trade down? Or you're definitely going to go. with what's
Depends
best
on who's on the
available?
board. Depends on who's on the board. I think they need a lineman. Nothing special to talk about. Skilled players here. We all know who they are. All right. So that's all they need. So it's a lineman. And we need maybe linebackers. But we're talking about fantasy football and how it's going to impact you guys on your decision making on what players you guys are going to take for next year's draft. We'll move on. That's pretty much it. The next pick is the Eagles at 22. Cornerback, linebacker, safety, offensive tackle.
I think defense is going to be the way they go.
I do too. Nothing. They have their skilled players. Everyone knows their skilled players.
Yes.
All right. They lost Swift. They lost Kevin Byard, a safety, and Marcus Mariota. Nobody cares about.
Listen, I know that this is
Yeah.
this is more of a behind the scenes type thing if you know individual defensive players, but Devin White was a big time name when the first couple years in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're hoping that they have kind of a reclamation project in him, but I think that they're trying to build on that defense to try to make it more potent.
So do I. All right. Then number 23, Minnesota Vikings pick
Back on the
again.
board, yes.
Back on the board via the
But
trade.
this
with
might not be available.
So hold on.
Let's just put that as a caveat.
So hold
right
on.
here.
It goes back to what you and I talked about. What pick did they pick in the first round? I can't remember.
9.
9. They might take.
No, I'm sorry, 11.
They might take 23 and 11 and move up.
Yes.
That's
yes.
what they might do.
And that's why I said we don't know what's going to really happen here.
Neighbors? Not neighbors. I apologize.
This
Daniels. Did they move up to get Daniels?
No, I think they're going to move up to get McCarthy. I don't think they have enough to move up into the top 3, but I think they have enough to move up in the top 7 to 10.
All right, that's fair. All right, 24th pick, we got the Dallas Cowboys.
See, the problem with that, though, Commission, think about this. In order to move up to 9, right, you have to trade with a division rival. That's the Bears. Do you give the Bears extra draft capital, your competition?
Then you got to go above the Bears.
Right.
Go to
So,
8. Go with the Giants.
Yeah, maybe.
There's a lot of wide receivers out there. Your
That's
boy
right.
Keon Coleman might fall down to 21.
Or the guy from Texas, like you said.
I like that kid.
Yeah.
Don't mention his name too much. All right, I don't want
right.
people knowing about him.
Okay.
All right. 24, it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys. All right, they need offensive tackle, inside linebacker, running back. I don't know. But let me ask you this question.
All right.
Is the first running back coming off the board with the Dallas Cowboys? Because they need a running back.
Yes, they do. There's been talk about Trey Benson.
Is the first running back coming off the board out of Texas, Trey Benson? Do they do that?
It's a good possibility.
You feel as though a running back's coming off the board to Dallas guy? Because they love running backs. You know that.
Yes, I know. And this is not that early in the draft where you look back and say, oh, they overreached on someone.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Do they really need? I know they lost Tyron Smith, right? You know, the offensive lineman. But
I'm sorry, Florida State, Trey Benson. I say they go Trey Benson here out of Florida State.
I believe that they will be going to a running back.
Yep.
If that's who they have as their number 1 on the list, yes.
I do too. All right, 25th pick of the draft is the Green Bay Packers. All right, they need offensive tackle, linebacker, cornerback. I think they go defense.
Yes, I think right now they have a very young offense that's
Yep.
gelling together. I don't think they're going to put anything
No.
else in the mix. It's definitely defense.
Maybe a defensive player. All right, next pick is Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a lineman, cornerback, edge. I think they go defense as well. They just lost to Devin White
Yes.
at the linebacker
Yes,
position.
Yes, and they had troubles last year on their defensive side of the ball. Yes, I think they are going to go defense.
I do too. All right, Arizona Cardinals at 27 here. Wide receiver, running back. This is their second pick of the first. Is their
Yes.
second pick of the first round, right?
Correct.
Because they put a pick. We have them picked in
Marvin
Marvin Harrison
Harrison,
Jr.
yes.
So is this the second running back off the board here, or they go defensive here?
I think it's too early for them to try to go for a running back when there's not an immediate need for them to do that. I think there's definitely going to be defense.
Okay, defensive player or offensive lineman.
Yeah.
All right, to protect Kyle Murray. All right. Here's the next number 28 pick of the draft. Is going to be the Buffalo Bills. They just lost a wide receiver. Do they go into this year with those wide receivers with a young second-year wide receiver? There are two tight ends, one Kincaid and the other one is a young kid. Drawing a blank. What's his name?
Shakir.
Oh,
wide
Shakir.
receiver?
Shakir's a wide receiver.
Shakir's a wide receiver. You got Kincaid, who was a rookie last year.
Oh,
and you
Curtis
have-
Samuels.
Yes, I know, but Curtis
Yeah.
Samuel's is not the answer.
What do you think?
If one of our two guys that we like, wide receiver wise, falls down to that level, yes, I think that's a definite wide receiver position.
I think they go safety. They lost Poyer.
Yeah, they did.
I think they go safety, in my opinion, defense. All right, then the next pick is the Detroit Lions. The Lions don't really need anything. They may be a lineman, offensive lineman, to help them out, just to rotate their line, because their line's fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's going to be offensive line.
Yep, so do I. Baltimore Ravens, offensive tackle as well. I think they go lineman or maybe a linebacker, because didn't they just lose? Yeah, they lost Queen. They lost Queen.
They
too.
lost Patrick Queen. There's a lot of talk out there that they're going to go wide receiver.
Yeah.
Now they're picking down far enough in the first round where you're going to get into that secondary type wide receiver, not the top 5 or 6,
Right.
But like I said, this is a deep wide receiver class.
Is number 30 pick is my man Adonai Mitchell going to get picked up by the Baltimore Ravens?
I don't know. There was a rumor.
Malik
There was
Washington is doing well as well out of Virginia. I've seen his tape.
I heard Xavier Worthy. He ran the fastest time at the combine.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. Maybe that's someone else. They need a big body because Zay Flowers isn't a big body wide
Mm-hmm.
receiver. Bateman's always hurt. They lost Odell. Yes, they have underneath guys in Mark Andrews, but do they have a big body receiver? And I think that's where you might get one of those surprise wide receiver picks.
All right. The next pick is the final pick of the. No, I apologize. The San Francisco 49ers come at 31.
Penultimate pick, almost to the second to the last guy.
49ers, a tackle. I think they go offensive line or defensive tackle. They lost Armstead.
I think they go defensive tackle.
Or does the best edge rusher come off the board here at number 31? They lost Young on the other side to pair him up with Boza. Remember, we haven't talked about the edge. Does Latu at edge at the UCLA come off the board here to the 49ers, number
Does
31?
he drop that far?
He may. We talked about what every team needs so far: offensive lineman, offensive tackle.
I think if he's available, they are going to take him.
I do
yes.
too, to pair him up with Boza, because that's what they're really lacking right here. Another.
Yes. They're not going to do anything on the offensive side
no.
of the ball, so it's defense.
All right, then we got the champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs needs offensive tackle, wide receiver, cornerback. What do you think? They just lost Snead, cornerback. Do you think they go cornerback with their first pick?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, their defense is about.
I do too.
It's a one-on-one coverage.
Yeah.
They don't like to play zone. They need good cornerbacks in order to do that. They love to blitz.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you need one-on-one on the outside.
Yeah.
So
So do I.
I think it's going to be a cornerback.
Yeah. Obviously, we're not going to go into round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's
No.
way too much.
I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty in the first 10 picks of the
Yeah.
first round because of potential trades and such. But this is our best effort from what we have right now. To go any further would just be, shooting in the dark.
Yeah. So, listen, all right, guys, we just wanted to get together and talk about the first round, what we think they're going to pick up, what we think the team needs are. Everyone can see them online, obviously, what we feel is going to occur. Obviously, there's going to be movement that we don't know about. They're gonna drop back in the draft. They're going to get more compensation. And
Yeah, I felt this was personally. I know you wanted to get on here and do something like this, and I'm not saying that I disagree, but this is really speculative stuff.
Right.
We wanted to do something right before the draft, which is in a few weeks. We understand that. We're going to come back and do one right after the
right
draft.
after the draft.
It's going to have more impact on
Yes.
our upcoming fantasy season.
Yep.
But right now, this is, again, I used the term last podcast. This is hostile football. This is about throwing stuff out there and seeing what's interesting.
that's it. If you guys think any different, just you feel free to comment if you would like. If not, tell us to go scratch or whatever. But we enjoy coming
Send
together.
those comments to the commission.
We enjoy coming together and talking to you guys about what we think is going to occur in this coming up draft coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, our next podcast will probably be more interesting with a lot more certainty of who's going to be where.
Yeah.
We'll see what the teams look like coming into the season.
I can't wait for that. You know what I mean? We'll talk about dynasty, and hopefully we'll do a dynasty program.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We'll try to branch out a little bit.
Yeah.
and do something a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But yes, I can't wait. It's starting to heat up. You started to get the juices flowing. Come July, which is only a few months away. A lot of mock drafts happening. It's going to be very interesting to see who goes where.
Yep. All right.
Kamish, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming out. You guys stay safe. Keep the information flowing. Try to keep up to date with all the rookies and all their impact on the teams coming up. And we'll see you guys on the next podcast after the rookie draft, and we'll get together again. You guys be safe. Have a good night. God bless. Bye.
Yeah.